Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. I'm Pinky Webb. Today on the program, a supposed miscommunication over an optional face mask mandate. Cebu City says the policy is on a trial period. President Bongbong Marcos is expected to weigh in on the issue. Also, the Interior Department seeks a bigger budget for its 3 attached agencies. Interior Secretary Benhur Abalos joins us live. The mayor of Cebu City is hopeful that the national government will keep an open mind to the city's own response to COVID-19. Mayor Mike Rama insists the city has reached herd immunity in terms of vaccination. Mayor Rama stressed that Cebu City's COVID-19 positivity rate is already down to only 3%.
I wish that they will not be thinking on the parochial orientation. We are divided differently from different islands, and therefore different folk, different stroke. We're talking now of looking forward and then balancing economy with healthcare system. And we will not be oblivious that TTMF is a very important matter.
Let's go straight to the source of the story. We have Interior Secretary Benhur Abalos live. Secretary,
Pinky,
it's so good to see you again.
it's good seeing you again.
I know
Good morning.
you're so busy. Thank you for your time, sir. Of course, this one, we need to talk about this policy in Cebu City. What happened, sir? Because just to trace back, di ba, nagkaroon sila ng EO, tapos sabi niyo po, kakausapin niyo si Mayor, he will defer this, and then the Mayor issued another EO. I think this will be EO number 6. Let's hear your story. What happened here, sir?
Well, when I learned that Mayor Rama has made this executive order, I called him. Personally, I called him. And it was my impression, I told him, Mike, okay lang ba na it's really very important for us to have just one national policy. And this policy, kung talagang sa isang lugar, mahina, I mean, we could do some flexibility on certain areas. But it should emanate from one body, and that is the IATF. If it's possible, I will personally bring this issue to the IATF, personally. And I will even suggest, not only Cebu, but others, no? Tignan natin how it will be about the mask mandate. Dapat pag-usapan ito eh. Because in the IATF, you've got medical experts, you've got economists, businessmen, etc. And they've survived COVID because of IATF. Ang miscommunication is that I thought all the while umuo siya sa akin. No? Yun. But be it as it may, no? Nagkaroon kami ng miscommunication. So, kaya nga, on interviews, sinabi ko, okay na, I'll just bring it to IATF, and yet, he continued with this. So, my statement is simple. I will keep our communications open, and as DILG Secretary, I would like to hear his side. No? Anong basis niya rito? Bakit ganon? Officially, so that he could submit it to the office. But for the meantime, Pinky, I kept true to my word. I presented this mandate, the outdoors,
This policy.
This policy, at least
the IATF.
At least yung outdoors, no, which we discussed yesterday in the IATF.
Sir, question lang before we go there. So, did you try to talk to him again after EO6, yung kanyang latest policy na tinatawag na trial period po ito?
Well, yes, pero hindi ko maintindihan yung sinasabi niya. Ayoko na magkaroon ng miscommunication eh. So, it's better to just move on, no? Anyway, lahat naman ng mayors, lahat naman tayo, we want something good for our own constituency, but please, siya na rin nagsabi, we're archipelagic, maraming islands, so importante, we move as one. No? We move as one. Yun naman ang hinihiling ko ng tulong sa lahat. No? Of course, it's about the authority of the national and of the local. But
That's the sticky issue here, sir. If you're the DILG chief, hindi ho ba? Sila, tama ho
you
supervise them, ganon. Pero may local autonomy din ho talaga Ay, alam nyo yun bilang mayor, hindi ho ba?
That's why I told him, Mike, I mean, your intention is good. It's well-meaning, no? Pero sana, anyway, makukuha mo naman yung gusto mo kung sakaling payagan to ng IATF, just give me a few days. Let's make a process here. That's important eh. Because if everyone will just do as he wishes, baka magkagulo naman tayo. What is important is for to have a process here. We respect autonomy, of course. But under the circumstances, we've got the national law, we've got the local law, which, we're trying to harmonize right now, and IATF is here. In any case,
Okay.
nasa IATF na to, we discuss it, at mukhang maganda ang aming pag-uusap. Probably by the end of this week, we'll come out with this decision kung ano na ito.
Yung, let's go there now, na, sir. So I'll set aside personal feelings. Yung IATF, you discussed this yesterday, supposed to be, sir. Tell us more about that meeting and what will be the recommendation to the President?
Well, number one, as previously agreed with the IATF, yung kay Pangulong Digong hanggang ngayon, everything will be kept a secret until the final result.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, I cannot divulge anything. I'm part of that. But one thing I could assure you is that this issue is being discussed, as being studied right now, and I'm sure in a week's time, tapos na po ito. Before the end of the week.
So you're hoping by Friday or even before that, there will be a new policy. Ganun, is it fair to say that?
Well, I would say that everything is being studied. Kasi may point na, lahat ng bansa. Ito lang po sa mga nakikinig, it's all about mask mandate outdoors. Hindi yung indoors ang pinag-uusapan dito, just outdoors. May point of view dyan na we're the only country in Myanmar, in the ASEAN, na meron pang mask mandate. Yung iba raw, wala na. Of course, meron naman nagsasabi about the vaccination natin, yung mga booster, etc. So, you have to weigh everything. You have to weigh everything. At yun ang pinag-uusapan, more or less.
True naman, Secretary, because when you look at the numbers, the medical experts are saying we need to keep the mask mandate because we're only at, 80% full vaccination, more or less. And then the booster, we are at less than 20%. So they say to actually compare us to a country such as Singapore, it's not an apples-to-apples comparison because they have a high vaccination rate compared to the Philippines. Meron din naman sinasabi, outdoor naman, paano naman tayo magkakahawaan? Meron din naman nagsasabi na, paano naman yung vulnerable population, yung mga may comorbidities?
Yes, maraming dapat i-weigh in. Well, may nag-present din na sinasabi, it's not only Singapore, but it's Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, lahat na. Even with a low booster shot. May nagsasabing gano'n.
Really? Okay.
But of course, all of these things kailangan i-take into consideration. Everything.
But do you think, sir, that we have been quite strict with this outdoor policy?
I have my own personal, kaya nga dinala ko sa IATF. Kaya nga dinala ko
Can you tell me your personal opinion about it?
Huwag na siguro muna, baka
magbago.
Pero one thing I could say is that dinala ko kaagad itong issue para pag-usapan because yun nga, anong meron sa ibang bansa na wala tayo? Yun lang. Why? Ano bang
Because I guess, sir, there seems to be merit. Would it be fair to say that? There seems to be merit to this with this optional face mask policy outdoors.
But what is important, Pinky, is there must be a process. And there must be a policy for everyone. Lahat tayo. Sana yun maunawaan ng lahat dito.
Yeah, because what I think it was OIC Vergere also saying na pag nag-umpisa ho kasi sa isa yung ganito, paano pag sumunod na yung mga iba?
Hindi pwede. That's why sinasabi ko nga nagpasabi ako sa mga mayors, governors, please let's act as 1 year.
Okay.
It's yun ang nagawa natin yun the worst of the COVID pandemic. Nangyari sa atin ito before ngayon we're nearing towards the endemic stage na naman.
So wait, Secretary, so you will come out, rather the IATF will come out with a recommendation possibly before Friday. You will tell the public or consult first the President and then divulge it to the public. Paano ang proseso?
There's a process. So pinagtatrabahuhan na po ito ng IATF and then we'll present it to the President.
Present it to the President and tell the public. Depende po yan, syempre, kung umuo o hindi ang Pangulo.
Well, that has always been the process ever since.
Okay. We'll be taking a short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our source today, Interior Secretary Benhur Abalos. Sir, just to conclude this issue, the IATF, does the IATF have the power or authority to stop this optional face mask policy in Cebu City? May kapangyarihan ho ba kayo? At may gagawin ho ba kayo? Siguro gano'n na lang para malinaw. Sir.
Well, marami ng ilang taon na tayo nag-IATF, and that has always been the process ever since. From the IATF, binababa natin ito at lahat sumusunod. Okay?
So the answer is, do you have the authority to stop this?
It's the IATF. Well, there are laws about the national law, no? Yung state of national health emergency,
Health emergency.
vis-a-vis the local government code of 1990, the autonomy. You have to harmonize both. So I'm coming from that. Okay.
Okay, so let's move topics because this is obviously evolving, and hopefully we get clearer guidelines by Friday. So, sir, educational assistants, just wanted to get your thoughts on this kasi napasama na po ang mga LGUs dito. From last I saw, sir, meron pa rin problema. Siyempre, hindi matatanggal yun, although there are still a couple of Saturdays left. You know, sir, 2 million, I believe, registered. And if I'm not mistaken, the DSWD was saying 400,000 ang beneficiaries. Ata, sir, lang ang posibleng mabigyan. What I just want to ask is, can the LGU tap help in terms of financial assistance para po matulungan yung ibang hindi makatanggap?
Okay, it's a very good question, Pinky. At sa lahat po ng mga nanonood, kaklaruhin ko ito, ha? As compared to the previous na ayuda, this time, ginawa namin, inayos namin ang responsibility ng bawat department. We're only here to help the SWD. And let me set the record straight. Sa financial assistance, kung sino may pera, the SWD. Who will be the one to decide who will be the beneficiary? The SWD. Magkano ibibigay? The SWD. Kasi before nagsisisihan, kinuha daw ni Mayor, ganyan, ganito. Sino magbibigay ng pera? The SWD. We won't even allow it to be downloaded to the LGU because once the money is downloaded to the LGU will be the one responsible because you will be the one liquidating it. So, klaro po ito, maski na sa pagbibigay ng pera, it will be the paymaster of the national DSWD. So, everything is DSWD. Ang tanong, anong tulong naman ng DILG? Ang mga mayors, governors, barangay captain, the PNP, would assist only, will give additional manpower, the venue kung kinakailangan. And remember, the problem there was yung queuing eh. Nakagulo tayo dahil ang daming pumila, ang daming ano. So, pagpasok mo pa lang, if you do not have any appointment in your cell phone, pinapaalis ka kaagad. That was the secret. We controlled it by online registration at kung sakali man pumasok sila, pinapaalis ka agad kung wala. So, clearly delineated, hindi nasisisi si mayor, si barangay, sa mga bagay na hindi sila responsable at alam ng tao kung sino. So, sa tanong po about the 2 million, well, it's all the who could answer about this
issue. So, there was no talk with regards to mayor saying, maybe we can add additional funds to be able, wala.
It's a national ano po ng DSWD.
Right. All right, just very clear. I thought that posibleng baka sabihin ng LGU, kulang yung pera eh. Kasi obviously, it seems kulang yung pera. Yeah. But anyway, sir, napag-usapan ba, sir, yung state of calamity? This is just a question. Napag-usapan mo ba yung state of calamity extension sa IATF?
Well, pinag-usapan din yan. No? Kasi state of calamity is different from the state of public health emergency. State of calamity is primarily for the procurement of certain vaccines or things that we need, no, para mas mabilis na lang. Napag-usapan din naman. Pero I cannot divulge again.
Okay. So, I want to talk about the budget, sir. Yung nakita ko pong budget ng DILG is at 251 billion. Yeah. And to break it down, tatlo po yung, the chunk will go to the PNP, which is about 191 billion. Marami po yan, no? Crime prevention, etc. And then, of course, you have the BJMP.
Yeah.
and the Bureau of Fire Protection. Sir, let's start with the chunk of the budget that will go to the PNP. Sabi niyo po, pagpapatuloy niyo po yung war on drugs. Pero what you said was on the grassroots level.
Yes.
How are you going to do this, sir? And what is the update so far on those who have cases? Nagpapakita ho ba yung mga testigo?
Okay. On the war on drugs, number one, I was asked kung how we are going to approach it. Yung intensity, pareho ng dati. We will make sure, we will make arrests, etc., on the basis of our oath in accordance with the Constitution. So, number one is the quality of cases, Pinky. That's very, very important. Day one pa lang, yun ang sinabi ko sa krame. I'm a lawyer by profession. It's not the quantity. That's why after 3 weeks, nag-agreement kami ng Department of Justice, i-mentor namin yung mga investigators. Dahil sila yung may susi rito eh. No, hindi naman sila lawyers, but we have to mentor them. We have to assess. So, ina-assist po yan. Number two, look at the legal side, the technicalities. One is Section 21 of the Dangerous Drug Act. What does it state? It states that, number one, kung nakahuli ng shabu, you need at least 2 witnesses of 3. Barangay captain or barangay official, or you need someone from the media, or you need someone from the DOJ. But most of the time, Pinky, isa lang ang testigo.
Yeah.
Someone from the barangay. 80% dismissed. Now, we did something in Mandaluyong that's different. What we did is, we hired one employee, o yung empleyadong nandiyan lang siya, kinuha namin, we assigned them to the Department of Justice, sa Fiscal's Office. Ang gagawin lang niya, tetestigo lang siya.
But
sa
dahil
lahat.
sasama siya ng sasama?
Yes.
Okay.
Tetestigo siya. Siguro for about a year, and then iba naman. So with that single act, wala na kami nadidismissan na kaso on technicality.
Because nasunod niyo po yung conditions.
Yung condition. So
okay.
yun ang sinasabi ko sa mga mayors, sa governors, we do not have to wait for the amendment of the law. Because if we're going to wait on that from Congress, ang tagal pa niyan. No? Importante mawala ang ating technicality rito. No? Ngayon, what is the war on drugs? It's just like a tree. Maski yung sanga, putuli mo may tutubo eh. So, yung sanga, kung gusto mo putulin yung puno, tanggalin mo yung ugat. That tree symbolizes the war on drugs. The branches, yung huli ka ng huli. Huli talaga kami ng huli dito. I will help the police. In fact, I'm going to have a fund to help them. Kasi dinidemanda yan eh. Noong mga salbahe babalik, mayayaman. It's really, we will be having a board that will really study kung talagang tama ba siyang tulungan o hindi. No? Ngayon, yung ugat nito, simple. It's now the community, the church, everyone. No? Kailangan kasama lahat dito. So, yun. It's not only against the seller, but the buyer reduction. Importante ito.
And what about the police?
Yung police, yun, talagang
Baka nasa ugat din yun, sir.
Yes, precisely.
Okay.
That's why, bine-benchmark ko ngayon. Ilan ang mga nadidismiss na kaso? Kano kadami, ito bang police nito, ilang beses hindi umatid ng testigo? No? So, yung mga policy gano'n, pinapatignan namin ang gusto. But then...
Is that tedious? How tedious is that process?
No. I've asked na Polcom to already make this study. But this is also another problem, Pinky, no? Kunyari, police ako, gumawa ako ng operation ngayon. What if na-promote ako? From Manila, napunta ako sa Zamboanga. And I have to really commute para lang pumunta ron. So, these are the things na talaga nangyayari on the ground.
So you won't be able to. Ganun ho yun.
Pwede, as long as we give them allowances, etc., at least for transportation, we must also put ourselves in their place, no?
Yeah.
Dapat maging, kaya nga, I'm going to suggest to the Supreme Court to encourage online hearing. Baka po pwede may online hearing na lang para kung nasa probinsya, si police mag-online hearing na lang
Dapat
siya.
nakapag-a-adjust pag may mga ganong
Yes.
situations. All right, again, we need to take a very short break. We will be right back. Watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our source today, Interior Secretary Benhur Abalos. Sir, body cams, bago tayo lumipat. Kailangan ho talaga ng body cam, di ho ba? Dahil ano ito? Itong magbibigay ng tunay na account kung anong nangyari. How is that progressing?
Yeah, it's mandated by law. No? Kailangan talaga ng body count. No? Well, ayan, may mga procurement kami ng mga body counts. At, I've asked them to wear their body counts.
Okay. Do you have a number? Ilan na?
I'm sorry, I don't have the
that's
number
fine,
right
sir.
now.
Okay, surrenderies. We were talking about that during the break.
Importante itong surrenderies. And I would like to report sa lahat po no, na napakaganda ng nangyayari dito sa program about ending lawless, of course, armed communists. Yan po nakikita sa screen. There's Abu Sayyaf, the first in the history of our country na 100 Abu Sayyaf surrendered. No? This one is in Sulu, Holo. Not only that, pati mga CPP, NPA po ay sumurrender na rin. No? Yan po ay sa Iloilo City. Kasama ko po si Governor Art Defensor, sumurrender na po sila. Pagkatapos meron din po tayo sa Abra. That one was taken in Abra, sumurrender na po rin sila. Pagkatapos meron din po tayo sa ibang lugar, kamukha ng Cagayan. This one, marami-rami ito. Bukidnon and Cagayan de Oro. Nagsurrenderan po sila, pati yung mga armas sila, sunurrender nila under our program. This one is Zamboanga del Sur sa Pagadian. And we just declared Zamboanga del Sur as NPA-free. Ito yung bata, talagang umiiyak siya. This one naman is about drugs. No? This one is in Pampanga. This one is worth about 400 million, 60 kilos of shabu.
Sir, since naging DILG chief kayo, ilan po ang surrenderies? Do you have a number?
Well, siguro hindi bababa sa mga, at least, mga 400.
Okay. And why? What happened?
Well, maganda ang program eh. Maganda ang program. What is important here is, you go to their place, tapos anong kailangan nila, importante ang programa about jobs, na magbabagong buhay na sila. At it does not end there eh. Because, you know, you win this not by arms, but by the heart of the people. That's very, very important. No? Ang importante hindi pag-surrender, importante yung bukas eh. What will happen to them na hindi dapat sila magsisi.
First step lang yung surrendering.
Precisely.
Pagka hindi mo alagaan, what will stop them from going back?
And what is important here, it's not only government, but the whole community. They're all helping them.
In your budget, sir, I saw a part of that actually puts a number on projects or programs to end local communism. Meron
Yes,
din po dun
that's CAC also. We're part of that, and the ECLIP, no? When they surrender, we give them financial assistance, we even give remuneration for the firearms, and then right then and there, sinisira namin yung mga firearms. Pagkatapos yung iba, yes. Alam mo yung kanina, pinakita ko sa iyo yung bata, pinasok namin sa Department of Labor, pinapasok namin sa mga trabaho. At ang importante, yung acceptance of the community. Walang pinagkaiba yan, kamukha sa jails natin, yung mga nakakulong, hindi ba? Importante yung program about rehabilitation and correction.
Okay, quickly, we have 2 minutes left. Let's talk about the jail situation, how to decongest them. I know this is one of your promises as well, sir. I've seen these. Nakakaawa ho talaga. And even in Iloilo, was it in Iloilo very recently? Yes, may umakyat po sila doon sa bubong. Sabi po nila, parang layas, warden, or something to that effect, sir. So, how do you plan to do this? Do you have enough money?
Well, it's not enough really. I must be frank. Wala ho kami ganong karaming pera. But this is one of the problems. Under the tradition is that an LGU must donate land. Bakit kailangan mag-donate ng lupa? Kasi baka mamaya magbago isip na susunod na mayor, palayasin kami eh. So that was the condition before. So ngayon binago ko. Kasi kailangan din naman sa financial standing ng LGU na marami siyang lupa. No? So what I've told them, why not? Instead of donating usufruct. Usufruct means pahihiram sa iyo for a long term ang lupa. It could be 30 years or 50 years. Na pwede itong gawing jail, PNP, or BFP. Even sa mga fire station. Kulang tayo ng 202 without fire station na LGUs.
How many?
202.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Medyo marami-rami tayo. Well, in any case now, going back to jail. So, iniisa-isa ko muna kasi I cannot do things overnight. Yun talagang pinakagrabe. There is one area, this is in San Mateo. Kung gusto mo matulog, Pinky, you must schedule yourself by scheduling.
Opo.
Ganun kapuno.
Scheduling yung kanilang shifting.
At nung napuno ang tubig, we have to evacuate them to a school. You see? So yun ang priority. Mga ganun, pinalista ko lahat. Titignan ko kung paano ko talaga pagkakasyahin ito sa savings ko. Pero kung hindi, kakatok na ako sa private. Marami naman tayong kaibigan na pwede talagang tumulong with this. No? Kailangan din talaga dito ay tulungan.
I hope one way or another, sir, magawa niyo yan talaga.
Yes.
Kasi talagang kaawa-awa. I know that, and these people for the most part, they're still undergoing trial. Yung mga nasa iba't ibang municipalities na meron pong mga kulungan doon, di ba? Awaiting the final of their trial outcome.
But another thing, in line with what you're stating right now, pinakamabilis is yung tinasabi natin justice on wheels na ginawa natin ni Justice Sereno. Kasi maraming nakadetail, lagpas-lagpasan na sa sentensya nila.
Could that happen again?
Yes. We are now discussing these things with the Supreme Court Justice and also with the DOJ para pa-review lahat. Para yung overstaying mapawalan na rin.
That's right. That's one way to decongest a very congested a jail, the situation. Interior Secretary Benhur Abalos, I know you have your plate full. Ang dami niyo pong ginagawa. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras, sir. And we'll await the decision of the IATF regarding this optional face mask policy that is being implemented in Cebu City on a trial period. Salamat po muli.
Salamat,
Thank you. And thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.